Commonwealthpicker, and we're in the eBay cave, shipping out $221 worth of merchandise today, sales today. So not a terrible day. Most of that is one item. I want to talk about that one particular item and show you what sold for $150 that we're going to ship out today. A couple other topics of conversation that I want to have is with you resellers out there, with you wannabe resellers, is what do you do with returns? How do you treat returns, return requests? Do you offer free returns, buyer paid, shipper paid, seller paid? How do you deal with that? How do you deal with those requests when they come up? Another topic is promoted listings, and I also want to talk about these shirts right back here, which I thought were polos because I was buying really quickly because the prices were great. And when I went to list them yesterday, I realized that they were definitely knockoffs. And I'll show you that real quick. So, all right, let's get started. $221 worth of sales. Here is a Far Side mug that's sold. You can see the caption on there. The guy's obviously in hell. It says, "Go back to sleep, Chuck. You're just having a nightmare." Of course, we're still in hell. And that sold for $21.88. I paid 50 cents, I believe, is what I paid for that one. It might have been $1, but I'm pretty sure I paid 50 cents. I think this came out of the Joyce Junkyard sale, but I can't recall. And it has its own little box, so that's nice. And we'll just rebox it on top of that, make sure it stays in one piece, and get it shipped out. Pretty nice little, probably $11, no, more than that, about $13 profit on that, assuming it stays just under first class. Had this little tiny menu, and this was part of a huge lot of free stuff that I got from a yard sale rather unexpectedly. And it is, man, I got this light here. I'm going to get that light out of the way, see a little bit better. It is a menu from United Airlines. And see the inside there. Nothing special at all. It sold for $8. Sold for $8. And I had a few of these in there, a few little pieces like that. Kind of tough to take the time to do this, but you know, some sells for $8. It's a $4 profit. And $4 on something that literally took me 4 minutes from end to end. I'm talking about it longer here than it took me to list it and ship it. So, not bad. We'll take that little profit. Airline stuff sells, by the way. You know, old airline stuff. I have an American Airlines piece of luggage over there that hasn't sold. It's not that old, unfortunately, and it's not even that great of an item. But you have a chance to pick up some old airline stuff. It's always a good idea to at least look it up and see if it's got any value. All right, we have some shirts, some denim and flower here, and this sold for, hold on 1 minute, it sold for $22.44. It was a Goodwill find, new with tags, $3.99, $3.79 plus tax, $3.99. Pretty good deal on this one. It is a size large, like I said, brand new with the tags. I can thank, I've talked about a bunch of uncles, haven't talked about Uncle John yet, so I can thank Uncle John for this. If it has any kind of style, I'm sure Uncle John wears it. I think I learned this brand name from him. I probably should have offered it to you first there, Uncle John, although, I don't know, extra large might be pushing a little bit for you there, buddy, these days. All right, at any rate, that went out, so pretty nice little, probably $11 or $12 profit on that shirt. I think Blue Ridge Mama found that one. While we're talking about shirts, let's talk about these. And I paid $1 a piece for these. It's probably too good to be true. And I just didn't look very well. If you look at that tag, it is not a genuine Ralph Lauren tag. And there's a few ways to tell. I always look on the inside tags and the inside of the shirt at the bottom. And this one doesn't even have one. A little too good to be true. Because they were too good to be true. So what do you think I should do with these? You think I should take them to Goodwill and let somebody else make that mistake? Although I didn't get these from the Goodwill. I was a huge clothing lot at a yard sale, and I just kept buying and throwing in a bag. And I made a mistake on these. I'm not going to list these. It's not worth it. To get the negative feedback, to have eBay upset with you. It's just not something I'd like to do. So Maybe I'll send them back to, or send them back. Maybe I'll take them to the Goodwill. Maybe I'll just throw them out. I don't know. I doubt that. Probably maybe donate them to a church clothing drive or something. Who knows? But we're not going to sell these off. I'll have to put these away. It's a $4 lot. I mean, I'll take it on the tax write-off. I'll put it on there. So, as a loss. All right. That may be it. Let me look. Oh, there's one more. One more that sold recently here. Give me 1 second. It's a Liberty shirt, Liberty University shirt. LU, it's an interesting one for sure. And it looks like it's new, so it's an XL. And Blue Ridge Mama found this one at the Goodwill, I think for $1, in the dollar bin, and it sold for $19. So this should be a nice little profit on this one for a t-shirt. To get $20, let me do the math quick for you, for those of you out there that are interested in selling t-shirts. If you pay $1 for a t-shirt, and you sell it for $19, if you sell it for $20, it's going to be a $13 profit. So this should be about a $12 profit on this item. So pretty happy with that one. Thank you, Blue Ridge Mama. By the way, I keep saying Blue Ridge Mama. Y'all should check her out on Poshmark. That's her at Blue Ridge Mama. And there's a space, I think, between each word. You can check her out on Poshmark. She's just building up her inventory. She hasn't been doing it in a long time. Go over there and check out what she's got in her closet and share it for us. All right. Here is the item that sold for $150. And all it is these old Pepsi caps. You can see the old Pepsi caps. Some have cork in them still. Some have a full thing of cork in them still, and some have virtually nothing in them at all. Okay, and there's different things in each one. Sometimes it's a letter, sometimes it's an emblem, sometimes you can't tell at all. Maybe you can recognize some of those things. You see that there? Here you go. There's a few little swords. They're little cavalier swords. So, who knows? But there are 192 of them in here. I was selling them off 4 at a time for $9, $8.95. So 4 at a time at $8.95 looks like about a $4 with what I paid, about a $4, about $1 a piece profit. And I had sold a bunch. I'm well into the profit already on these items. I think I paid $20 for about 240 of them, and I've sold a bunch of them. So I'm definitely well in the profit. And this one, a guy offered, hey, say, well, you got a bunch of them. How much you want for all of them? And thanks to Deals and Dives out there, I said, hey, you shoot me a number. I got 192. And he said, $150 sound good to you? And it did sound good to me. So he's getting them for less than $1 a piece. But they're all gone, all in one fell swoop. I'll have an extra drawer that I can start putting my flats in. When I mean flats, paper products, things that are flat. I need a place to put these because they're all over. I'm going to put them in that drawer, so it's one little cleared space that I can use for some other inventory that I have to get listed and I have to get shipped off. All right, which leads me to another question, which is how do you do your inventory and how I do my inventory. I'm small enough that I don't have an inventory system, but I'm starting to think about it. I'm cramming so much into this little tiny space, and it is a little space. I need to measure it to give you an idea, but let's just put it this way. You could park a car in here and probably not be able to open the doors width-wise. It's a little longer than that, but it's not very big, and I have 872 items listed on eBay, so I do a great job of packing up and getting things listed and put away. This item I have in a behind the camera here. I have these shelves that go to the ceiling, in these little drawers. And I put my game pieces that I sell, replacement game pieces in there. I can barely open the drawer, so I pulled out some Risk replacement pieces and I shipped them off because the guy bought them. And then I realized I had two. He sent out, you know, he said wanted a return request, and I made a big mistake. Well, not a big mistake because they're a pretty cheap item, but and so I found the right ones, and I'm going to ship them out this morning to him. And he had already started a return request. I said, hey, just hold on to those. Do whatever you want to do with those, and I'm going to ship you the right ones at my expense. And I'm going to do that today. So which leads me to the another topic, which is, what do you do with returns? Typically, what I do with returns is that I ask the people to send it back. I pay for the return. I put on there that buyer or that seller pays for returns. I just think that it helps you out with the algorithm. I think that you get more buyers when they have that security. The reality is, even if you put seller or buyer is going to pay for the returns, all they have to say is it's not as described, and you have to pay for it anyways. And I understand, you know, a lot of people get upset with eBay about this, and I kind of get it. They're competing with the big dogs. They're competing with Amazon and Walmart, and eBay needs to have that policy in place. We might not like it as sellers, but if you do a lot of volume, I would suggest that that's how you do it. I do quite a bit of volume. My goal this year is to have 4,000 sales. I don't know if I'll get there, but that's my goal. So I do enough volume that I can eat some returns. I have a return coming not too long ago that I'm not very happy about, but I'm going to eat the return and I'm going to resell the item. Most of the time I make the people send them back because a lot of times they're just fishing for a partial refund. And I rarely do that. And in this case, I know the mistake was mine. And I don't want the person to even go through the hassle of having to return the item. Plus, the return on the item is going to cost me, you know, $3.50, $4. And I wouldn't buy that item out in the wild for that price, so I certainly am not going to ship it back to me. Well, I thought I heard Turner coming in, but I guess not. He told me, Daddy, I want to be on another video. I said, well, we're going to do toys with Turner here pretty quick. So my wife's got a video coming out here in the next couple of days that she helped with, and she helped edit as well. And we have a big announcement coming up for us as a family, what we're going to be doing here in the near future. Hopefully by the time this video airs, we have 100 subscribers, and we'll have our little challenge. I'm just going to gamble and say that we do, and the challenge is going to be a question, and whoever emails me using the email in the description below, the correct answer to the question is going to win an enema. I know it sounds amazing. If you don't want an enema, I'll send you $10 if you have a PayPal account. I can't imagine why you'd rather have $10 than an enema, but who knows. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and look at the enema video from last week. So there's just a couple of things that I wanted to talk about and get your feedback. Do you do seller returns? Do you do buyer returns? Do you do no returns? I do have some things I do no returns on. I do have as-is items, and everybody does, but as a general rule, I definitely do returns. I think it's the right thing to do anyways, for the most part. And there's going to be abuse of it, for sure. Going to be abuse, but that kind of stuff happens. So, all right. Thanks for joining us today, and hopefully by the next video you see, we'll have that question out. And if you see this first and we're still not 100 subscribers, send this link out. If you know somebody who might be interested in reselling, or know somebody who likes these kind of shows, send the link out and ask them to subscribe and get us over 100. And we appreciate everybody who's been watching. And happy picking.